Hello everyone, I greet you. This is your online assignment tutor. Today I want to look at a very important, one of the important topic in mathematics, which you and I, you know, might be familiar with. I want to look at some laws, of indices, some laws of indices. Look at some laws of indices. So, some laws of indices. We have indices. The first law we'll look at in indices, we should be familiar with. We want to look at before we go into the laws of indices. We want to look what do we know by the word indices. Indices actually is an integer. Let's say we have an integer a and it has a power. So the integer a here is what we call the base, and the n here is what we call the power. We call it what? The what? The power. Sorry. We call it the integer a, then we have the power. The base, this is the base. This n is what we call power, or you call the n, you call it what? Exponential. 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 The a is the base, the n is the power, but you call it exponential. So the meaning of a raised to power n is that the value of n will determine the number of times a will appear. The value of what? Of n determine the number of times a will appear. Let's take, for example, say we have a raised to power 1. That means 1 will appear one time, that is a. A raised to power 1 give you a. Let's say we have a raised to power 2. So it will be that a will appear 2 times. That is a times a. Let's say that we have a raised to power 3. That means that will be what? A times a times a. Then 3 places. So if you have a raised to power 4, we have what? A times a times a times a. Along like that, a raised to power 5, a will appear in 5 places. So that's what we call indices. So we want to look at some laws which actually talk about that link up with indices. I want to look at some laws. I want to look at the first law of indices laws. The first law, I want to look at this one. Let's say if you have a raised to power x multiplied by a raised to power y. Because of it is multiplication, this will give us a raised to power x plus y. That is the first law. A raised to power x is equals to a raised to power x times a raised to power y equals to what? A raised to power x plus y. A raised to power x plus y. A raised to power what? S plus y. If we look at the second law, if you have a raised to power x, sorry, let me wipe that off. If you have number 2, you have a raised to power x divided by a raised to power y. Because of its division, it's going to give me a raised to power x minus y. So one thing you have to take note here is that when it's come to a raised to power x times a raised to power y, it will give me what? A raised to power x plus y. Number 2, when it comes to a raised to power x divided by a raised to power y, because of division, it will attract minus a raised to power x minus y. That is very good. That is very good. Then let's look at the third one. Please take notes. Let's look at the third one. The third one, number 3, is the situation where you have a raised to power x, then raised to power y. So in this type of situation, the law says that this will give you a raised to power s times y, which is equals to a raised to power x y. So this is a situation of if a is raised to power x and it's also raised to power y, to give you a raised to power s times y, which is equal to a raised to power s y. So that is another law of indices. So we have another one again. The fourth one, we are talking about laws of indices. Laws. We have the fourth one is where we have negative a raised to power negative x. This will give us what? This will give us, because of you having negative, you are going to have the inverse 1 over a raised to power x. This is very important. These are fundamental fundamental things to know in indices. If you don't know this, then there will be problem when we are solving question as regards indices. When we are solving question that as regards indices. So we have number 5. A, when I'm using A, you can use B, you can use C, but I love to use A. So a raised to power 0. Now notice, any number in the world that is raised to power 0 is going to give you 1. Any number in the world, be it 1 million raised to power 0, you are going to have 1. 100,000 over 0 raised to power 0 is going to give you 1. So that is it. You must take note of that. So another thing we have to know here, is this. Is another law which now we are in the what? The 7th one. So if you have a raised to power what? X, are you getting me? Multiply by b raised to power x. Go ahead and tell me what the answer will be. So because of the power are the same and the base are different, your answer will be equals to a times b raised to power x. You know, let me write it well. Some people will be confused here. Let me write it well. Let me write it well. If you have a raised to power x multiply by a raised to power what? Raised to power, no, sorry, not a, we have done that. Because it multiply by what? By b raised to power what? X. Because of they have different base, the power will remain the same, while the base will multiply itself, each other. So we are going to have a times b, everything raised to power what? X. That is fundamental, very, very important. Some times ago, I asked a student that what would be the answer. Look at what the student wrote. Look at what the student wrote. Look at the answer he gave to me. Please don't make that mistake. You know, I said a raised to power x multiplied by b raised to power x equals to what? And that gave me that the answer will be what? A times b raised to power 2x. Please, this is wrong. This is very, very wrong, because this is the law say that if it's different base, the same power, the x will still remain. So our answer is actually a times b, which is ab raised to power what? Raised to power x. Also, the same principle apply for division. For division, maybe you have I don't know numbers of law we have now. So maybe you are number 8, number 8 law. If you have a raised to power x divided by b raised to power x, your answer is the same principle. So give me a over b, everything raised to power what? X. That is the answer. So the implication of this is that it will not be x minus x, it will be everything divided raised to power what? X. And in some textbooks, you will find like this: a raised to power x over b raised to power x. Oh, it's the same thing. So that is that for that. So let's look at one or two questions before we bring this to a close. Before we bring this to a close, let's look at this question. Let's look at the question. Let's say, for example, we have this question in our hand. Number 1, let's look at this question. 2 raised to power x times 2 raised to power y. What do you think will be the answer? Can you go ahead to solve it? The answer will be equals to 2 raised to power x plus y. Is that also? That is very correct. 2 raised to power x plus what? Plus y. That is very, very correct. Very, very correct. Note it. Let's solve another question again. Let's solve another question. Let's say we have let's say these are number 2 questions. Let's say we have 2 raised to power x divided by 2 raised to power y. What do you think would be the answer? The answer will give us 2 raised to power x minus y. Beautiful. Very correct. Why do we have minus? Because we have division. We have division. So let's solve another question again. Let's see, this is number 3. Let's solve this situation. Let's say we have 5 raised to power 3 multiply by what? By 4 raised to power 3. What do you think will be the answer? Can you go ahead to solve it? So your answer is 5 times 4, that is 20. Then the 3 will remain, because it will not be 3 plus 3, it will be 3. 20 raised to power what? 32 raised power 3. So this is the answer, which is very correct. So in the next video, we are going to look at some other questions in on indices. So that's why I urge you to subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you can be a partaker of this online tutor. I'm your online assignment tutor. So I this fundamental, just keep it in your heart. So you can replay the video to check, to refresh yourself. So by the time we come, we actually be looking at questions on the indices, different questions from indices. Then from there we move into logarithm, laws of logarithm. Then from there we solve questions. So if you have anybody, share this video to them. Let them be a partaker of this tutorial. So till we meet again, I remain your online science assignment tutor. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Let us grow the community. Let more people benefit from this, and not only you. So have a wonderful day. Have a blessed week ahead. Then I wish you best of luck in all your life endeavor. Bye bye.